Greetings everyone, my name's Fleo and we are embarking on a brand new journey for me today. If you know me, you already know this, but I personally have had a YouTube channel revolved around Dapper Labs products, which are NFTs from the NBA with NBA Top Shot, NFL with NFL All Day, and UFC with UFC Strike. And today I'm expanding beyond that into SoRare, of course. We're going to be going through everything you need to know, at least that I know, about the website and on a brand new channel, and I am excited to start this journey. And if you didn't know me, welcome, and thank you for joining. We'll see how this goes, but I am excited. This is a product I have been looking at for about a month, and I really do enjoy. Less than a month, actually, well less than a month. So essentially, it is NFTs. These are the NFT cards, we can call them, and they're based around professional soccer players and their performance in game during these game weeks they set up. Now, there is a whole bunch to talk about. We'll start with we'll just go in order, the market. So essentially, if you know my past channels, you know how the Dapper Labs products works. They give out cards through pack drops. This one is a very different system, and it is an auction-based system. So every single day, SoRare will release their different mint counts of moments to, I guess, people to bid on or buy in the marketplace, and essentially that's how you collect your moments. And you can also participate in this completely free. So signing up, actually, we'll start with the free portion. So signing up, if you use my link, which is linked down below, absolutely, if you're going to sign up, use my link down below. It is just essentially a link to allow you to join the website. It's totally free, but also gives us both a reward if you were to join up. And so once you join, you get a number. You can pick a favorite team and get a number of cards both from that team, but just also in general, cards revolved around professional soccer players. Now you can get them from signing up or competing in competitions, which we can see here. It is a game reward rather than a transfer, which essentially a transfer is just the website. That one specifically is the website giving it to me to start up. So there are 5 different tiers of this website, first of which is common, and these cannot be auctioned. They can only be given to you once entry in the website and won through I guess the game week competition, which we'll dive into in a moment. You cannot buy better cards. This is the totally free to play portion of this product, this website, and I think it's awesome. And if you aren't willing to spend money in this product, this is a brilliant way you can do this. You can earn even paid cards through your progress in here. But essentially, there is not every single league. There is not every single professional soccer team in here. But they have a number of leagues, a number of teams, and you can see that essentially they're working to expand even further. And I have 6 Premier League players personally because I live in America, or the U.S. specifically, but my interest personally, I mean, I love football, I love soccer as a whole, but I watch Manchester United mostly, and the Premier League mostly. So I picked Liverpool because Manchester United isn't in the game. So I got a number of Liverpool players along with some other people in here, and I then use these cards to build a lineup every week. And then the second tier is limited. So limited, rare, super rare, and unique are all auctionable, but also potentially earnable through play rewards. Now we can see how much I have bought these guys for. Now I'm not going to advise you to follow me financially on this site, follow the decisions I made. I'm merely doing what I think could be correct, and in many, many cases, very well could be outright incorrect. But I essentially put in a whole bunch, or I put in about, I'm not sure if we can do this, $60, $70, $85. I think I had like 100 in my MetaMask wallet, and I just put it into the website, which if you know Dapper Labs products, which are not necessarily formulated around Ethereum and gas fees, this one is. There are gas fees to put in money, but not to make each individual transaction. So to put in money, I paid about like $120 to put in like $90, I think it was. You can see I have a little bit left over. But I bought these cards, and with these cards, you can enter a higher level of competition. So We'll go to the marketplace, and then we can go to the competition. So marketplace, you can go to cards. You can also buy cards in bundles. So rather than just buying one card at a time, you can buy team bundles. So maybe if you want to get a Roma team collection together, you can buy all of them at once in a bundle. Now, we'll look at cards specifically. And one thing I do want to mention, if you are used to maybe NBA Top Shot, which is a site I use often, or if you're not, totally ignore this point, but the entry level for useful cards is high in comparison, very high for useful cards. And what you can do, you can sort by ending soon, newly listed, highest price, or lowest price. Now, the website SoRare lists up biddable moments every single, or cards every single day, going up in serial from 131 to 1,000. All of the limited tier, the yellow cards, are minted to 1,000. All the rare tier are minted to 100. Super rare is minted to 10, and unique, I believe, is just 1 or specific 1, something of that nature. I even need to learn a little bit there. But these limited cards, they will auction, or put one up for auction every day, essentially, for the limited cards. And we can see here his cards. He has both. If we filter by lowest ask, he has a number of cards which are up for bid. These are listed by SoRare, and then once someone buys them, they can then list them for a buy now price, which means these are listed from SoRare for you to buy. These are listed from a collector who has already bought them and is trying to sell them. So for example, this player, we can dive into his stats and see if this is a useful card. You can see the team he plays for here. You can see the country he is from and plays for internationally, the position, and his age. Now you can see the little 23 number that I'll have use in a moment. But you can follow their stats. Now there's a great website to follow stats as well, which I'll dive into in a moment. But you can see that they get rewarded for their in-game performance. So over the past 5 games, he has had some games where he got 88 points in the game based on defending well, stopping the opponents, not letting in goals. And there's games where they played PSV, who's likely, I believe, still top of the table in the Eredivisie, which is the conference or the league they play in which he didn't do as well, and they may have likely lost that game. So essentially, you are judged based on that player's specific performance, but also some stats affect team performance. And so there is no pack drops to make money, but you kind of buy into them playing well to earn you money in Ethereum or in newer cards through just their game competition. So this is the marketplace. You can filter by, we'll go back out to the main marketplace. You can filter by players that are in the upcoming 4-day game week. You can filter by favorites, positions, price, plenty of things here. If you only have a specific budget, maybe you only want to do 0.016 Ethereum and see who's here, see who's biddable, and you can see their 5-game average scoring to maybe see who you want to buy. Now right here, if we go to Sambu Sissoko, you can see that he played 4 of the last 5 games. He's done all right. I think the goal is about 50 to 60 plus to place really high for average players, and there's a little more to dive into this in a second beyond just the scoring here. But you can see he's played 4 of the past 5, and maybe this is a good card to pick up. I can't advise you financially, but if we look at lowest ask, we can see that he is 21 years old, meaning he's under 23 eligible, and he's buy now at $13. So maybe this is something you are interested in yourself, but that's how you can kind of track them. But those numbers don't tell the entire story. Because if we look at, I don't know specifically this player's one, he's played very well recently, but some players, their last 5 average says DNP, meaning they did not play any of the last 5, but a player who maybe, at this point, a player could even have 1 game, and that's the last game average. We can see he only played 3, and he hasn't played recently. So that's where I'll get into their SoRare data, which is a brilliant website to even get a little more knowledge on what players you should invest in. You can say even here, maybe at like $15, $20, you can get some entry-level players who perform decently well and get you a couple of rewards. But the more expensive, the more consistent, the young people who can kind of produce for you for years in essentially fantasy terms are going to be more expensive and in turn offer a lot more, which of course you can go for those players, or you can go for the older vets who will produce well for a couple of years. Just your tracking. Now, if you don't have a lot of knowledge of or just soccer in general or football in general, I would say I don't think it should steer you away from using the site in any way, because I think there is a great deal you can do even with a little bit of knowledge. but until you really learn, maybe hold back on putting more money in. That's just the concept. Do as you wish with it. I think this is going to be a longer video, a lot to talk about here. But I think entry with a lot of money, if you have a lot of money, you know a lot. But if you're new to the product, take your time. There's plenty you can do without spending any money, which is very cool. But we'll go here. You can see the market. You can buy players. Now, I should return. So maybe if you don't know, I mean, if you do, one of the best young players is Kylian Mbappe. So let's see if he is his card. All right, so Kylian Mbappe. Let's see if is Haaland here. Yeah, Erling Haaland, another great young player. So Kylian Mbappe likely does not have a card on the site yet, or is just not up for sale. But you can see Erling Haaland is a very young player and an insanely good, promising player. So his cards are worth a whole bunch more. And so his ones minted to 1,000 are going for, I mean, 10 days left, going for $3,000 just over in Ethereum. And his rare version is going for 6.7 Ethereum, or almost $20,000, because it allows you to enter more prestigious competitions. So spend as you wish, enter as you wish. There are different levels of different players worth different amounts, and typically a good exchange rate for a quality player, what I've noticed, is about 6 times from limited to rare. Now, I can't rely on that. I don't want to advise you financially, but just 6 times from limited to rare is something that I've seen is comparable. But next is the play feature. So you can use these cards that you get to enter competitions. So I have entered a casual and a limited competition, which I might move my roster over to the under 23 competition in a moment. I can explain that. But essentially, you can use these cards. Now, I have a bunch of them used already in training, and which I'll explain in a moment. But you take the players that are in the competition. So this week, Alisson, who is Liverpool's go-to goalkeeper. I also have Kelleher, who's their backup. I have him in training just so we can build a percentage. But the more I use these guys, the more bonus they can get. So I am using Alisson as my goalkeeper, and I put a captain's, meaning whatever he scores, he gets an additional 26% bonus on whatever he scores. And in terms of, he is averaging 55 points, maybe that's letting in saves, making good outlet passes, or letting in goals and getting saves, making good outlet passes, whatever it may be. Then I'm starting these 5 players. Now maybe I want to start a different guy over him, but he's the only one that you can see here has a game. This means no game this week, so he's the only one who has a game. It's the only player I can technically start there. Fabinho averages more than James Milner, so I'm starting Fabinho. Naby Keita, of course, averaging more than the others, and forward, who is the essentially Divock Origi. Although a immaculate player when it comes down to it, when it really matters, does not play all too often. So I'm starting. This is my team for the common players. These are all players you cannot buy. I got for totally free. And from this, you can see prize pools. For the casual one, the top 100%, meaning all you have to do is enter the competition and you will get an additional tier 2 card. Now you can see tier 2 cards, what they are. Here, if you want to see who's in this list, Olivier Giroud is a name that sticks out. Absolute baller at AC Milan. He's been around the league, or been around a number of leagues for a while. Then if you place really well, top 50%, you'll get a tier 1 card, which you can see who maybe that could be. A whole bunch of names here. Common tier 1 players, and then if you place in the top 10% to the top to literally 4th, you can get like a player like Joshua Kimmich, who's an unreal defender. Plenty of stellar players here just for competing totally free. Now, of course, you're getting their common version, meaning you can't sell it, but allow you to do better in competitions and earn even more. Now, if you are top 3, you can then earn sellable players. So these are limited versions rather than common versions, and it kind of resets the list of who you can earn here. And even the first place gets a tier 1 limited player, which is just simply unreal for a totally free to enter system. Now, I have placed a couple times. We should have rewards tomorrow. So maybe I'll do every 4 days or so you set your lineup. So maybe I will do a video where I set my lineup one day, and then the next day I'll make a video of me opening my rewards if I do get any. and then wait a couple days and upload when the next set of games is happening and everything of that nature. So that's the prize pool for the totally free to enter settings. Now I can't see the rare and I can't see the super rare because I don't have enough cards. But you can see once you own 5 limited cards, which is a lot of reason I bought them, you can enter different competitions, more advanced competitions. So All-Star is just simply any 5 limited cards. Under 23 is any players who are under 23, which provides a little more value to their cards in the marketplace, of course. And less people can enter because you do need 5 under 23 people. There's also a Champions of Europe competition, a Challenger of Europe competition, which I'm curious the difference here. Something I don't even necessarily have all too much knowledge about, but you can see the competitions here. Champions League, Premiership, Primera Liga, Russian Premier League, Football League Championship, just a whole bunch of things here. Eredivisie, a whole bunch of competitions where if we go to this one, where did I just see that? 5 total competitions. It only covers the 5 main leagues of Europe. So this offers a bit more player database in a way, if that makes sense. And once more teams are added, these ones are going to be a little easier to compete with, but the major leagues aren't totally in it yet. Then there's Asia, of course, which has 4 total competitions, and America, which has the MLSPA and these list of competitions for this upcoming week specifically. Now, if I could enter an under 23 team because I have an under 23 goalie, under 23 defender, under 23 midfielder, forward, and then you can use an extra, which is any, I believe any player, maybe only any outfield player. And I could technically submit this lineup. Now, none of them have a game week. None of my limited cards have a competition for this week, meaning I will not place, but hey, I could enter them because the more you enter cards, the more their boosts increase. We saw the captain getting a little bit of a boost, but also the more you play your cards, the more you can use them. You get an additional XP bonus for their experience on your own roster, if that makes sense. So entering them there is something you can do, and I can't see rare, but also if you aren't entering these players specifically into an active lineup, because I need some water, you can put them into training, which gives you that bonus for them competing in 1 week, then carrying the bonus to the next week, but there won't be any rewards for this. So there's plenty of prize pools for a number of things. We can see the prize pool for common is simply a couple moments, but when it gets to limited, when it gets to rare, when it gets to super rare, they start giving out Ethereum, which is crazy. It allows you to buy cards or withdraw if you wish. And you can see that the top 275 people will get a tier 3 limited moment. Top 4 to 10 is a star moment, everything in here. And then top 3 are earning Ethereum. And this value does not change. It's just the monetary value of what Ethereum's at that point. You can earn up to $300 every 4 days if you place first in this. So obviously I would not place first because none of my players have competition, but there's no harm in playing them because I get that XP bonus. So there's also plenty of cards they're giving out, and it's just simply free to play. And if you can't pay for it, in my mind, there's no harm in just trying to get a little bit of here and there. And if you do place on the podium, you'll get an auctionable card. Unlikely considering there are 100,000 people, but you can work towards it. Something I think if you enjoy soccer, it's a no-brainer in my mind. So there's even more I can dive into here. You can toss a whole bunch of stuff that you can see here. I want to see if this kind of dives into Allison's game so we can kind of go through right here. Perfect. So against Burnley, which is a game I started him, Allison scored 85 points because he shut out Burnley. He played 90 minutes. He lost possession 3 times, likely on a pass, but it's not terrible. Accurate long balls 8, missed passes 3. So overall, he had a net positive of 1 here. Saves 5s, accurate keeper, sweeper. So essentially, he came out to deal with the situation when needed. Got 10 points there. Diving saves, saves in the box, all accumulated to his points here, which is super helpful and helped me place decently well. So if we go to play, we go to match week 11, the 11th to the 15th. We go to prize pool. We can. It's also visible on the website here, which I'll get into in a moment. I honestly I just found this website today. and I'm curious. Honestly, I don't even know all too much about it myself. Let's see. Yeah, something I can dive into in another video. But if we go to the prize pool of the common tier for the 11th to the 15th, 98,000 people registered. And if I go to my overall like play settings here, I can see that during the 11th to the 15th, I completed and finished 36,980th, meaning I was in the top of 90,000. I was in the top 50%. But I wasn't in the top 10%. So I will get, like, I wasn't in here, so I will get one tier 1 common moment, which in my mind is a brilliant addition to the team. I put together a decent roster, obviously nothing stellar, but a decent roster that I'm happy with, giving me another moment to help me compete in the totally free competition next week. So every 4 days. Now, of course, I have to submit my lineup, meaning the reward I get is only usable. So this competition will end tomorrow and this one will start, but I'll only get my reward once this one ends. So I'll be able to use it in the 19th competition, if that all makes sense. But essentially, you can just help keep building your rosters for free or put in money and spend it. But I wouldn't just filter in a lot of money. I would definitely spend it wisely. But with this being said, there's a lot more to chat about on this website. You can dive into I don't know if it's sponsored through it or totally separate, but SoRare Data is another website which I use it mostly for scouting players. So if I'm looking to what actually, if you are going to spend money, I can look at maybe a goalkeeper I want to buy who's under 23 and has played a minimum of 5 of his last 15 games, and we can filter here, and they give you a ranking of maybe the best goalkeepers to invest in, their average price for limited moments, rare moments, and super rare moments. And you can kind of see where you could invest, and I can formulate my price range, see what I can afford. Now, of course, I'm very low right now. I wouldn't afford any of these guys. Goalkeepers are also well more expensive than like a forward. We can see somewhere like 0.0, 0.6 is Donnarumma, one of the better goalkeepers in the. I was shocked to find out he's 22. But a player like Kylian Mbappe, as I stated, one of the most, I guess, brilliant young players out there. But you can see there's a bunch of guys in here for 0.0771 who's been playing well, averaging about 50 points per game, and 73% of the games played over his last 40. There's a lot of information. You can dive into this site as well. But I encourage you, use my link down below. If you are interested in soccer in any way, you can do it totally for free or spend money and just get involved and do another form of NFT. So I will be probably making about 2 videos every 4 days is my concept. I just love doing it. I love these videos. Maybe I'll get busy. But welcome to my Fleo SoRare channel. And that being said, peace.